Welcome to the Digital Warriors Project from Spider Web Development. Dave Barnes, with 25 years of experience as a pro web developer with hundreds of Tier 1 clients across the country in every major market. Writing content for a site isn't always fun, but with this easy-to-follow method, you will be writing great content and product descriptions in no time.
One of the most common things that I hear from people in the party rental business is I don't know what to write when it comes to writing good product descriptions. This is the most important skill that you're going to get to learn to help your website convert as best as it can. You have to remember that this is not an impulse buy. And when I say an impulse buy, that's like you go to the grocery store, you see the magazines on the side of the cashier's checkout. You say, oh, I got to have that. You throw it on the conveyor belt and boom, you're gone. Or if you're online, you see this cool t-shirt, you just got to have it. It's only like 15 or 20 bucks. You don't even care if it actually really shows up, but you just order it because you think it's cool and you want it. That's an impulse buy. What we do in the party rental business is a lot different. This is a major purchase for people. We're talking anywhere from $400 to $1,000. That's a major decision for people when they're letting go of that kind of money. So they're going to want to have all the information there before they pull the trigger on that decision. So this isn't as difficult as you might think. When I was much younger, in my young days, I started working for a company before the internet, if you can believe that. I am that old. Before the internet, I worked for a company where we produced catalogs, which was how people did shopping that wasn't done in an actual brick and mortar store. So in these catalogs, it was ingrained in my head to use a simple technique that copywriters use called feature benefit writing. And I'm here to tell you that anybody can do it. All you have to do is know the simple skills to put it together, and you can make product descriptions that will convert visitors to customers. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about here. Right now, you're taking a look at an average product page that we see all the time, where we'll go to the product page, we'll see a manufacturer's picture of the product, little or no information. Sometimes we'll take a look at them and we'll see there's a little information there, like one line, and that's it. And you're expecting people to give you $350 for that. So let's take a look at one of the big box stores on how they do a big purchase item. Well, it's not as big as they can be, but a big one that we need to kind of talk people into buying this item just by being online. So here's Home Depot. We're looking at a small, inexpensive refrigerator purchase for, $300, $400. And let's take a look at how they laid out their page. The first thing that we're going to see is that we've got the product pictures are there, but they've also got additional pictures that show variations of the view of the item. So now, as we start looking down the product page, we scroll down a little bit, we can see they've got a detailed description there, and they've got features of the item bullet pointed out. There's also extra stuff like owner instruction manuals, warranty details, availability. All that kind of stuff is right there. Everything that you need to know about that product is coming up. Now, as we continue to scroll down, now we're going to see even more information. We're going to see product reviews. We're going to see questions and answers, all the things that they would possibly need to make a green light to go ahead and order this product online. Now let's go back and take a look at our product page. Now, in this case here, we're using ERS, but it doesn't matter what rental platform you use. This process will work for anything that you do for marketing for your company. That could be brochures, postcards, letters, whatever. Using feature benefit techniques will always improve the performance of the conversion rate of what you're working on. So in this case here, the first thing that we notice is that the specifications are missing. Specifications are very important, and you'll remember that in the Home Depot example we just used, that they had a very detailed specifications for that refrigerator. So let's take a look at what we need to do here. All right, so I don't know the actual dimensions on this bouncer. We're just making an example. That's why we like to have our owners do this kind of stuff, because you guys know your equipment. But we're going to do the best we can. So we're going to add her in. our width, length, and height. Height's also important because you got to remember that you want to make sure it's cleared of power lines, trees, stuff like that. The next thing that we're going to do is fill in the setup area. This is really the critical spot that customers are looking at. Because if we've got a 25-foot bouncer and we got a 25-foot area to put it in, that's not going to work. You and I both know that. So what we want to do is add the minimum setup area. So industry standard for this would be 4 feet all the way around it. So to do that, we're going to use a simple calculation of adding 8 feet to the width, and we're going to add 8 feet to the length. And that'll give us a 4-foot area around the unit for safety. Now, if you've ever been out there and you measure out 4 feet from the side of that bouncer, you know it's pretty tight. So you go ahead and use your own calculation that you're comfortable with here, knowing that the 4 feet around it is an absolute minimum. Now, the next one that we want to add is for the monitor. It's labeled monitors on ERS, but it could be attendance, it could be supervision. But in our case here, we want to make it very clear to the customer what we're talking about. So we're going to put minimum 1 adult for supervision on these units. Okay, so next one is another one that's really important for customers, because I always see you guys complaining about this with your clients all the time, and that's the number of outlets required for each unit. This is going to vary. Obviously, for the bouncers, you just need 1 dedicated outlet for it. But when we get into the multiple aspects of some of these features, like obstacle courses, giant water slides with slip and slides, you could have 2, 3, 4 different blowers on that unit, which is going to require to have multiple dedicated circuits. So this is really important. In this section, for this particular unit, we know that it only requires 110 volt outlet. So finally, the last one that we want to add, and this is another really important thing that customers want to know, and I'll just tell you right up front, the more you do on your specifications, the more accurate you are, and the more valuable information you give in your specifications are just going to cut down the number of phone calls you get. So more information, less calls. In this case here, we're looking at the age appropriateness. Okay, so basically you want to think about the spectrum of the age group of the kids that it's appropriate for, or that should be using it at one time. This will call in some other things that you might want to add into your content on the product page, because you don't want the little toddlers playing with the bigger kids. It's just not a good idea when you're talking about bigger kids jumping and bouncing around with little kids in the same thing. So let's make it age appropriate. In this case here, I think we're going to set it for 6 years and up, because this is a multiple combo featured unit, and you could have big kids in there. And so I think 6 years and up would probably be a good setting for this. But you use your best judgment on what you think works for that unit based on your experience. All right, so now we've got our specifications in here. Let's go and visit the product page again, and let's see how this little bit of specification work we did changed the presentation on that product page. What we're going to see now is valuable information for your customers that is going to immediately start increasing the conversion rate of your website. And as we go, even if you did this, if you just did the specifications on your product pages, it's going to make those product pages convert better. Just that. So simple. Okay, so now we can finally get to the feature benefit writing portion. So for right now, we're going to take a look at our product, and let's just do a virtual walk around. Let's see if we can identify the features of this particular inflatable. Now, this is a combo bouncer. So right up front, we see that there's a inflatable ramp at the entrance. It's got large netted vent windows all the way around it. It's got an interior climb and slide, and that slide exits to the exterior. I can't see inside the picture, so it's not my unit, but it might have a basketball hoop, might have inside blow-up obstacles, that kind of thing. So what we're doing is just making a list. These are all the things we want to point out. These are features. So what we're going to do now, get yourself a spiral notebook, a legal pad, piece of paper, whatever you want to do to use this on. But we're going to take that and we're going to draw a horizontal line right down the center so that we have 2 columns. On the left side, we're going to name that features. And that's going to be the list of all the things that we were just talking about. And on the right side, we're going to label that benefits. And we'll get to what that is all about. But this is going to make this really simple for you. Okay, so let's get all of our items on our list. So the first one we talked about was the inflatable ramp. Then we have the large netted vent windows, our interior climb and slide, and the exit to the exterior. And of course, you can add, if you think about these as you go along, you're going to be adding stuff to your list all the time. So whatever you get in your list, this is fine. But for our purposes right now, this will help you out a lot. All right, so now you're going to go down your list, and for each one of those features, you need to identify the benefit to the customer for that feature. That's what makes it a feature, because there's a benefit to your customer. So the first one was the inflatable ramp. That's actually a safety ramp, and that's going to protect the kids as they're jumping around trying to get inside. You got your large netted vent windows. Two benefits to that. One, it keeps things cool for the kids while they're playing, but it also allows for parental supervision all the way around. They can see everything that's going on in there. And then, of course, you've got your interior climb and slide. And I think I looked in there, I saw there was a little hole in that slide thing. There might be a little cubby space for the kids to hide in or something like that, for hide and seek, who knows. But you're going to find all kinds of features and benefits. One of the things that I did see that I didn't mention when we were making our list was the no jump netting at the top of the slide. That's really a great feature to point out, that the kids can't go up there and do kid crazy stuff and jump off head first on the slide. So next you got the slide exiting to the exterior, and it's got that large bumper area at the end of the slide so they don't go and just rumble off the end of the slide. And then they can run around and go right back in, and it just kind of keeps things moving. So those are your benefits. Now, all you have to do is you're going to go through that, and you're just going to make a sentence out of each feature and benefit. This unit has an inflatable safety ramp at the entrance to protect excited kids as they scramble to get into the bounce area, period. It's got large netted vent windows. It keeps things cool for the kids inside, but it also allows for parents to keep an eye on all activities inside. So I think you get the idea. And what you're going to do is, as you go through all your features and your benefits, you just make sentences out of each one of those. And if you get to the end of it, you're going to find out you're going to have 2 or 3 paragraphs of really quality, valuable information that is going to make it easy for people to make a purchase decision. Okay, so that's how easy it is to do feature benefit copywriting. You're going to be a pro at this once you do it a few times. But let's see the big change that we have now on the product that we were just working at. So now we're going to open up this page. We're looking at it. We're going to scroll down. You can see here what we've done is added extra images, lifestyle images, so we can see in and around and all the kids having fun with it. That's really important, because parents are going to want to look at those images and imagine that, oh, those are my kids, or that can be my backyard, that kind of a thing. So lifestyle images and products is really important. Next, we'll scroll down and we'll take a look at all the feature benefit statements here. This is very valuable information that is pointing out the features. It's pointing out the benefits to the customer, and it makes them easy to make a buying decision. Right below that, we're just going to repeat it, and we're going to bullet point all of those features. Now, in addition to that, as we scroll down, you can see we've added our little inexpensive Google Reviews app. Always important. Your Google reviews, or any reviews that you do for your website, are most important where people are making the buying decision. So our Google Reviews app, we can install that so it shows reviews on every single product page. You don't have to do anything. It's all automatic. Our multi-image feature here that you see, that app is really inexpensive. It's easy to use within the back end of the ERS dashboard. And it just makes the page look much more professional, and it makes it easy for people to make a buying decision. All this can be done simply by taking a few extra minutes and thinking through these products as you start to work on them. Don't try to do them all at once. Do it by attrition. Do a little bit over time. Take 3 or 4 products, do them to the best of your ability, and then move on to the next 3 or 4 products. When you get through all of your inventory list, just go back and start again. Because once you start doing this, you're going to get better at it. The other thing that you can do is start writing down questions that people are asking you when they call you. They're calling you because the information is not on the website. They don't want to have to call you. They want to see everything right there. They want to do it quick. Show me what I want now. Let me buy my stuff from you, but you got to convince me that I can trust you. Using this method is going to make you a super duper web developer, and you're going to watch your conversion rate jump through the sky right after you finish it. Good luck.